Hey, we're down here in Culver City at Collector's Armory, and we're here to speak with John Plimpton about his Japanese sword collection. Hey, John!
How's it going?
All right. John has a collection of over 200 Japanese swords, and he recently put out a book describing a way to identify all the different swords. So he's going to tell us about some of the swords in his collection here. So what do you have for us today, John?
This particular sword, by tradition, belonged to Koizaburo Nomura, who was the ambassador from Japan at the time of Pearl Harbor. This particular sword was made, I believe, in Tokyo. It has the decoration normally of a U.S. Navy design, and the handle is of a court sword. It's in the index, of course, under the name Koizaburo Nomura, and it's also under the custom swords. This particular sword. Down with this one.
This is over, like 500 pages here
We'll do each one.
in this book of different types of swords. From basically 1873, is it?
Actually, December of 1872.
Okay, so almost the end of
No,
1873 until 1945, the end of the war. And so there's Navy, there's Army, there's custom swords in here.
Police.
There's police
Fire.
swords, fire, even the fire department.
Civil defense.
Civil defense swords.
Colonial.
Right, so, and you can see, it just keeps going, right? I mean, I keep turning pages, and there's more and more swords here that you can see. And some of them were in the, now John, some of these, they look like European swords, but some of them look like traditional Japanese style swords. Why is that?
I think 34 or before, they decided to go to the traditional swords, the two-handed swords as you see up there. These are all from the World War II period. The Japanese fight with two hands, not a single hand.
Mm-hmm.
So they were getting away from the European one-handed sword. You actually see some of the old D-guard swords like this that are designed for two hands. If they have the collection or have a sword, this will be the book that can help identify it. It's not like a textbook. It's strictly a reference book of identification of various models. Each page is one particular variation, whether it's Army or Navy, Marine, Police, Fire, Civil Defense, Custom.
The swords in the book are all swords that you own?
About 98%, yeah.
Okay, so basically this book is also a reference of what you have in your collection.
Yes, it is.
How many swords are in there?
I don't know how many. 200?
I think it's 212. I think that's my guess.
Well, over 200.
Yeah, definitely. These are two very special swords, and part of your collection, and they're in the book under presentation swords. So I want you to tell me, what are these swords? Where do they come from? Who were they given to, etc.?
Okay. These were made for the coronation of Hirohito, who's now called Showa Tenno. This particular sword was made for Japanese nobility, while this sword was made for foreign dignitaries. I think they made 17 of these, but I'm not sure how many they made of this.
So if they came to the coronation and they were either an ambassador or dignitary for a foreign country, which is the black one,
Right.
Or this one, they'd get this whole box and they'd get the medal and everything.
It came with the box.
What about the symbols on these swords? What do they mean?
Well, this is the polonium own. This is a slightly lower rank. This is a 353. In ratings, that's a slightly lower rating. Maybe they consider the foreign dignity. I don't know.
Okay.
And you see, this one is a 575. That's a high rank.
Oh, okay.
Now, maybe this particular person was of a higher rank. I don't know. But you see the same thing: the 575 with a little extra, and the 353.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, the blades were made by Minamoto Yoshichika. He was a famous maker during the Showa period, and his blades were known for being extremely sharp. But these are dated at the date of the coronation, which is 1928, the month and the day.
So
the only difference between these two blades is that the ones for the Japanese nobility had a groove in them. The ones for the foreigners did not have the groove. And they're made in the old style, a very light, small, delicate blade.
a chapter on unknown swords. And so, you mentioned in here that the design is Army, but it transitions to Navy. So
Yeah.
the same thing you just said here.
This is Navy. And all this decoration here, that's all strictly Army. But you see here, the Army ones have a groove that follow this line all the way up around here. But this doesn't. And the Navy has this solid bar. And this design here is Navy, not Army. But the rest of it is basically an Army.
All right. So I want to see the cover for it. Okay, there it is.
It's better this way.
Yeah.
Want it closer?
I don't know. He's got the shot. You can tell.
My back's killing me. This. That would protect it. It's a resting scabbard. And this would protect it in case of an earthquake, something falling on it. But it would protect the blade. This has a rigid blade. Cut.